Skyrocketing rents are forcing tenants to compete. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Let's have a look at this article from Yahoo Finance written by Eliza Babin about skyrocketing rents as landlords force renters or tenants to compete. Let's have a look at some asking rental prices. If we have a look here, this is from SQM and this is in Sydney. You can see, yep, they're going up. What are we looking at here? 3-bedroom on 12 months is up 12%. All houses up 21%, guys. Apartments in the year, 21%. 2-bedroom units up nearly 19.6, nearly 20% too. So a 20% increase in rents in a year in Sydney. Now, they did go down. You can see that they did drop down 2020, 21. They're shooting right back up. Let's check out Melbourne. Come on, Melbourne. There we go. Same thing. Look at that dip in Melbourne. It's much more pronounced. I remember reading all these articles about units and apartments falling in Melbourne as people were abandoning the city. And then Brizzy, it's going to be the same. Come on. Oh, I've got to fix this bug. Brisbane. Wait, I bet you I'll type it in manually and then it'll update. Such a well-polished machine here. And HeiseSays, there we go, and reload. Boom. You can. Oh, whoa! That's damn. 19%, 14% for all houses, 3 bedrooms. Look at units combined, 5%, 5.9, 5.2. Look at that. What a jump! No, sorry, 18%, 18.6 and 23.4. Boy. So rents are going up, guys, everywhere. And it's even, if we look in some of the regions, have a look here in regional New South Wales. Yeah, it's just crazy, this chart, guys. It's just nuts. So let's have a look at this article. So, renters are doing it tough with skyrocketing prices that are not expected to slow down anytime soon. Well, the other issue, one point to consider here is this is to do with supply of housing stock on the market. And a lot of the regional areas and even the big cities, it's really a pain to get housing stock on the market. We're going to lose the number of builders that can build. We're in the middle of the construction apocalypse and they're going under because the market was overheated by government interventions. And we have additional legislative requirements coming in the National Construction Code, upping the construction costs again. So all of these things juice up the market. They all do. Even if we get a property, if property even falls 20%, it's not going to make bugger all difference, guys. It's still so expensive. So rents are surging at record rates, especially in the major cities, according to a new PropTrack report. Asking rents lifted 4.3% in the September quarter and 10.3% year on year, the fastest increase ever recorded. The high prices are mostly due to a lack of available homes, which has forced renters to compete, the report said. And the crunch shows no sign of easing, particularly in the major urban centres. Capital cities are expected to see the lion's share of growth as demand and subsequent rental price growth softens in the regions, the report said. While the supply of rental stock remains extremely tight and migration to Australia lifting, we anticipate rents to continue to rise over the coming quarters. And of course, remember, you've got a call for 200,000 migrants to Australia. You've got international student visas higher than applications higher than prior to COVID. What do you think that's going to do to rental costs, guys? It's going to jump it up. Capital city rents drove most of the growth, lifting by 3.2% for the quarter and 8.8% for the year to September. Now you've got to remember, with these rents going up, your yields are going to go up too. And what's that going to do for property prices for people who are renting, who are hoping for a big crash? You're kind of screwed. Both sides. Unit rents in Sydney and Melbourne grew the most, which followed a drop-off in demand for inner-city apartments during COVID as people opted for more space. Regional rents remained unchanged from the June quarter, but were still up 12.5% year on year. The national median weekly rent for a house is $500 and for a unit it's $450. Cost of living crisis. Skyrocketing rents are just one element in the struggle many Australians are now facing around the rising cost of living. The cost of living surged, with official inflation data hitting 7% in the year to July and 6.8% to August. Construction costs, petrol, and food were the main drivers for the increase. Cost of building new homes rose 20.7%. Petrol prices were up 15%, and the cost of food and alcoholic beverages were up 9.3%. So there we have it, guys. Rents are skyrocketing, and I don't think anyone is at all surprised. Let's have a talk. As I mentioned, one thing that needs to be considered is housing supply. And this is houses, this is units, this is apartments, townhouses. There needs to be greater supply. It needs to be easier to get the projects built. It needs to be easier to allow people to develop. And a lot of that's to blame is the not in my backyard crowd. You know what? There's another article here on news.com.au that I didn't even want to look at, but we'll just, where is it? I'll try and find it and we'll bring it up here. It's just about someone complaining about a townhouse development going up next to their property. Here it is. Family slams towering monstrosity being built next door after the private certifier signs off on it. And this is what you need. If you want housing cheaper, if you want renting cheaper, you need to have higher density. It's a duplex going next to a house. The site sold for an insane amount of money. What was it, $2 million? I mean, there you go. 2.9, nearly $3 million. So, of course, they need to chop it in half and put a development on there. But you can't be complaining about high rents, about cost of living issues, about young people not being able to afford a house, and then bitch and moan because a development goes near your house. This isn't the other group we need to pay attention to, the not in my backyard crowd. They're causing a lot of these problems. And many of them, frankly, are from a previous generation that had lived in a different world. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one, guys. I honestly would argue that we need to increase supply. More housing needs to get out there. More needs to be built. We need to reduce the onerous environmental requirements we're putting on the housing in the construction code to make them cheaper to build. We need to reduce the fees, charges, taxes, and other things that the government just piles onto housing to make it cheaper to get in there. But I suspect there's a lot of parties with vested interests that want to keep the status quo. All the talk of affordable housing, all the talk of cheaper rentals, it's all just talk. Anyway, guys, check out my other channels, Heise BIM and HeiseSays International, for other content I discuss. And if you're a fan of the channel and want to help out, you can financially on YouTube or Patreon using our referral links, buying our merch, or calling us if you need an architect. Take care, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next episode of HeiseSays.